Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Bill, and if this is the first time dropping into my channel, welcome. Coming from you today from Borrega Springs, California. I came down here for an event called Nightfall. There was about 104 scopes or more here. Some were imagers, some were visual, and it was just a giant star party. The first one I ever attended, and it was a lot of fun. And I already got my RV site reserved for next year. So the purpose of this video is just to show how to set up a simple sequence in nighttime imaging and astronomy, also known as N.I.N.A. But before I go there, I just want to, I collected a lot of data while I was down here. I stopped one night at GMARS on the way. I have collected all the data I need for my M31 Andromeda project. I had planned 30 hours. I wound up with 29.52. That is good enough. Then I started a new project. I started the HEART project, and I collected 12 hours of data across 2 nights for the HEART project. So I now have a good data set there, including all the calibration frames. And then last night I started the Soul Nebula project. I imaged last night and I collected about 7 hours worth of data. I'll do another 5 hours or so tonight. Tomorrow's my travel day to head back up towards the San Francisco Bay Area, San Mateo, California. So I might do a short night and leave some time at the end of the night to do my flat and dark flats. But let's go into N.I.N.A. and let me show you. So the way I set up a sequence, and there might be multiple ways to do it, and again, this is the simple sequencer. There is a more sophisticated sequencer that you can use. But I start with the Sky Atlas. I come up here and I enter the object that I want to image. And 1848, which is the Soul Nebula. I search. It finds it. And then a little bit over here that's probably off the edge of my screen. Let's see if I can arrow over. You see add target to sequence. So I add that target to sequence, and it asks me if I want the simple sequencer or the sequencer. So I am going to use simple because I'm a beginner, and this seems to work well for me. Now we come up here and we start at the top. There's a lot of options that you can set. And the first option, I am going to want to cool my camera. I have a dedicated monochrome camera and I can cool it. And I'm going to cool it to minus 10 degrees Celsius. I want N.I.N.A to unpark the mount. And I want N.I.N.A to manage a meridian flip when it comes time to cross the meridian, which for this target should be shortly after midnight, about 20, well, not with the time change, I'm not sure. So we'll have to see what that looks like. I set a delayed start of 10 seconds. You don't have to delay the start. The sequence mode is I'm going to be imaging with 3 filters tonight, so I want one after the other. This information here, when I start and build the sequence, it's going to tell me what the duration of the sequence is, and it'll tell me the estimated time that the target will be finished. In the target options, I want N.I.N.A to slew to the target. I want N.I.N.A to center the target, and that means it'll do a plate solve and center the target for me. I do not want it to rotate the target because I don't have a rotator as part of my image train, but I do want N.I.N.A to start guiding. So as you can, and when it comes to autofocus, I like to autofocus on start. I autofocus on filter change. And then I autofocus on an increase in HFR of about 10%, and then it'll refocus. So we see the first line here of the sequence. I'm going to enter the total. I think for tonight, I want to go to bed early, so I'm going to do 10 of the HA filters. I want them to be 5 minutes long, so that would be 600 seconds. 600 seconds. I want it to be a light frame. I want it to be an HA filter. I want binning to be 2x2. I am using the bin mode 2 on this camera. It basically changes the pixel size from 2.315 on my ASI294MM monochrome camera, changes it from 2.315 to 4.64. And then I want to dither, and I want to dither after every exposure. And what that means is after each exposure, the mount will move a little bit, and it will, when you're dithering, my understanding is that it will take care of, help eliminate any banding that may be present in your image. Okay, so I've got my sequence here for the first filter. I'm going to hit the plus sign down here. This one, I am going to do 20 of. 600 seconds. 240. No, correction. I want these to be 300 seconds for 5 minutes. So you can see you can quickly just change it. I want now I want the sulfur 2 filter. Again, I want 2x2 on the binning. I want the dither on for every exposure. Okay, so that looks good. And then I want one more filter. I'll take 20 of those. Total of 20, 300 seconds. I want it to change in the filter wheel to the O3 filter, 2x2 binning. And that's pretty much it for setting up a simple 3-filter sequence in N.I.N.A. For the number of images that I'm taking tonight at 300 seconds apiece, it should take me about 4 hours and 10 minutes. I don't think that that accounts for the 20 minutes or so to execute the Viridian flip. However, but that gives me some idea of what the duration is going to be. With the time change here, I should probably kick this off around 6:30, and then 4 hours later will put me a little bit past midnight. That'll give me some time to do my flats, and maybe I can get into bed by 2:30 and get a few hours of sleep before I head out tomorrow. What you want to do next is you want to save the sequence. I save all my sequences here. So I am going to use this naming convention because this was last night's sequence. And this is the second night on this object. So I'm just going to save it like that. Save. And then I'm good. So now for the purpose of this exercise, once you have it saved, you can reload it. So I'll load a different sequence. So here is the sequence I used last night, 1848. And so now you see I've loaded the sequence from last night. That could have been a method. I could have loaded last night's sequence. I could have changed the number of exposures I want to take for each filter for tonight, and then I could have saved it off to a new sequence name. But this is how to do a very simple sequence in N.I.N.A, and I've been having a lot of luck as a beginner with nighttime imaging and astronomy. My Meridian flips are executing properly, without error, and I'm really happy. And so what that lets me do, as you may already be doing, you can kick off your imaging session, you can set your alarm, you can wake up before the meridian flip. And even though my meridian flips are going well, I like to be out there when it's doing the flip, just to make sure there's no chance of any cable snags. And then you can go back to bed, set your alarm to get up when your sequence finishes. So very good piece of software from my perspective as a beginner. And I went from backyard EOS to astrophotography tools to SGP, and now I'm on N.I.N.A, and I'm going to stay on N.I.N.A. One other thing is I run the nightly builds, so if you're not running the nightly builds, your interface might look slightly different, but I am just uploaded the new or downloaded the new nightly build. So this is 1.11 nightly build 190, and the nightly builds are what they call preview builds, where they're exposing new features that they've written for us to use. And so far, each nightly build has been a bit bug-free from my perspective. Okay, so I think that's about it for now. I am going to do a video. I spent some time 2 nights ago trying to get some error out of my guiding. I use PhD2. I have a Skywatcher HEQ5 mount. I was running at about 2 arc seconds of error on the guiding, and I was able to bring that down to 1.32 using the guiding assistance. So I am going to show you, if you're not familiar with PhD2 and how to maybe tune your guiding, it's very straightforward. There's good documentation, and I'm going to do a short video on that to maybe help you if you're looking to tune your PhD2 guiding. Now that I have tuned my guiding, that opens up the opportunity for me to eventually move to a larger scope in the future. So, that's about it. So if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, hope you have clear skies wherever you're at in the world. Till next time.